Darkness. Then the harsh digital beep of a smartphone alarm. The screen illuminates. 4:47 a.m. A bedroom, still dark. A figure lies in bed, clearly deep in sleep. The alarm continues its insistent assault. But it's not just an alarm. A voice erupts from the phone's speaker. Aggressive, urgent, almost violent in its enthusiasm. Wake up. It's grind time. Winners don't sleep. Your competition is already working. The person, mid-30s, could be anyone, jolts upright with a gasp. Disoriented, exhausted, but conditioned to respond. They grab the phone, silencing the assault. The modern self-optimization routine, as prescribed by wellness gurus, productivity coaches, and motivational influencers across the globe. The person stumbles out of bed, clearly still half asleep, but there's no time for rest. The routine has begun. The person turns on the shower. Steam rises. They reach toward the hot water handle. Then stop. Take a breath. Turn it to cold instead. They step under the freezing stream. The shock is immediate. Body tensing, breath catching, teeth chattering, every instinct screaming to escape. But they stay, because that's what you're supposed to do. Cold exposure. Dopamine. Resilience. The guru said so. Step 1. Shock the system. Prove your discipline. Embrace discomfort. A blender roars to life. The person dumps in handfuls of spinach, protein powder, spirulina, ashwagandha, collagen peptides. The resulting mixture is an unsettling green-brown sludge. They drink it. Their face betrays the taste. It's horrible, but they force it down. Step 2. Optimize nutrition. Every calorie calculated. Every supplement maximized. Find your center. Let thoughts pass like clouds, but the person is fidgeting, eyes darting to the phone screen. How much longer? They shift position. Scratch an itch. Check the time. 5 minutes feels like an hour. Step 3. Mindfulness. Productivity through presence. Inner peace as a performance metric. The person writes frantically, filling page after page with the same affirmations. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. Their hand is cramping. The words have lost all meaning, but the list says write it 100 times. So they write. Step 4. Reprogram the subconscious. Manifest destiny through repetition. The person is on a treadmill running, earbuds in, but they're not listening to music. A podcast plays at 2x speed. Voices chipmunk fast, discussing optimization strategies and biohacking protocols. They're absorbing information while exercising, multitasking, maximizing every minute. Step 5. Stack habits. Never waste a moment. Constant input. Constant productivity. The person stares at their own reflection, takes a deep breath, then begins shouting, I manifest success. I am unstoppable. I deserve abundance. Their voice is hoarse, their eyes tired, but the routine demands it. Speak it into existence. Step 6. Command reality through declaration. Confidence as alchemy. Finally, they collapse into a chair. Exhausted, the routine complete. It's now 6:30 a.m. Less than 2 hours since waking. They check their wellness tracking app. The screen loads. A score appears. Daily wellness score. 47 out of 100. You can do better. Suggested improvements. More cold exposure, longer meditation, higher protein intake, additional affirmations. The person's face falls. Despite everything, despite the suffering, the discipline, the effort, they're still failing, still inadequate, still not enough. They scroll through Instagram, wellness influencers, fitness gurus, productivity coaches, everyone shouting the same promises. Transform your life in 30 days. Unlock your highest self. Morning routines of billionaires. The scrolling continues. Faster. More desperate. Searching for the answer. The missing piece. The hack that will finally make everything work. Suddenly, everything stops. The frantic scrolling. The motivational shouting. the app notifications. All of it freezes. Silence. The scene transforms. The harsh LED lights soften to natural morning sunlight. The cluttered modern apartment fades into something simpler, more serene. Confucius appears. He's seated at a simple wooden table. Traditional robes, modest, nothing ostentatious. A small clay teapot and cup before him. Morning light streams through a window. He's doing nothing, just sitting. Sipping tea, slowly, deliberately, present. He looks up, directly at the camera. His expression is gentle, but there's something in his eyes, amusement tinged with concern. This, he says quietly, his voice carrying the weight of millennia, is what you call self-care? He sets his cup down with careful precision. The gesture itself is a teaching. You have transformed personal cultivation into another form of competition, another source of anxiety, another metric by which to judge yourself insufficient. He stands, moving with unhurried grace. Perhaps, Confucius continues, it is time to learn from wisdom that does not require a subscription fee, that does not promise transformation in 30 days, that does not measure your worth with an app. The modern chaos of the morning routine fades completely. Only Confucius remains, in a space that is both ancient and timeless. Let me show you where your modern gurus have led you astray, he says, and what true cultivation has always required. Title card appears simple and elegant. Confucius critiques self-help culture. Confucius walks through a space that shifts around him. At times it resembles an ancient Chinese study. At others, it morphs into modern settings, bookstores, wellness retreats, Instagram feeds made physical. Before we discuss solutions, Confucius begins, we must understand the problem. He gestures, and the overwhelming bookstore from earlier materializes around him. Towering shelves, thousands of self-help books, each cover screaming louder than the last. Confucius picks one up, examining it with the curiosity of a scholar encountering a strange artifact. Unleash your inner alpha, he reads aloud. His tone is neutral, but the absurdity speaks for itself. He sets it down, picks up another, manifest your dream life in 21 days. He looks at the camera, 21 days, for a transformation that sage kings spent lifetimes pursuing. Another book, Quantum Success Secrets. He pauses. I do not believe this author understands quantum mechanics, or success, or secrets. He sets the book down with finality. Your modern self-help industry, Confucius says, walking among the shelves, is built on several fundamental misconceptions. Images and examples materialize as he speaks. First, the quick fix. A montage of promises. 30-day transformation, instant confidence, overnight success. You have been sold the lie, Confucius explains. That profound change comes quickly, easily, with the right technique or mantra or morning smoothie. He stops walking, turns to face the camera directly. But character, true character, is built slowly, through countless small choices, through daily practice, through years of cultivation. There is no shortcut to becoming a good person. The bookstore fades. Now they're in a meditation retreat, but a commercial one. People on mats, but there's an instructor selling courses, upselling workshops, promoting their brand. Second, the individualistic focus. Confucius observes the scene with evident concern. Your gurus speak endlessly of your success, your power, your manifestation, your abundance. He counts on his fingers with each repetition of your. But a person is not an island, Confucius continues. We exist in relationship, to family, to community, to society. A wealthy person in a suffering community is not successful. They are complicit. Images appear. Someone meditating peacefully in expensive athleisure while their neighborhood decays. Someone manifesting abundance while their family struggles. Someone finding their highest self while ignoring collective suffering. True well-being, Confucius states firmly, cannot be separated from the well-being of others. This is run, benevolence, humaneness, the recognition that your flourishing and mine are intertwined. The scene shifts again. Now they're surrounded by motivational content. Instagram posts, TikToks, YouTube thumbnails, all shouting the same messages. Be your best self. Level up. Dominate your day. Crush your goals. Confucius looks overwhelmed by the noise. He raises a hand, and the volume drops to silence. Third, the performance of wellness. His voice is quieter now, more concerned. You have turned self-improvement into content, into performance, into another thing to optimize and display for social validation. He gestures to the Instagram grid surrounding them. Perfect morning routines, aesthetically pleasing meditation corners, carefully curated vulnerability. But true cultivation, Confucius says gently, is not performed. It is lived. It happens in private moments when no one is watching, when there is no audience to impress. He picks up a phone showing a wellness influencer's feed, post after post of authentic morning routines, each more perfect than the last. This person is not cultivating themselves, Confucius observes. They are cultivating an image, and there is a profound difference. The phone dissolves. Fourth, the lack of substance. Confucius's tone becomes more critical now. Around him, buzzwords appear, floating like empty promises. Manifest, align, vibrate, attract, quantum leap, activate. Your gurus use many words, Confucius says, but most of those words mean nothing. They are designed to sound profound while requiring nothing of you. He waves his hand dismissively at the buzzwords. They pop like soap bubbles. Manifest your dreams, he repeats mockingly. What does that mean? In practical terms? What must you actually do? Silence. The buzzwords can't answer. Contrast this with what I taught, Confucius continues. The space around him transforms into a simple classroom. Ancient students with scrolls. When I spoke of benevolence, I provided specific guidance. Treat your parents with reverence. Be loyal to friends. Show compassion to those who suffer. Specific actions. Measurable behaviors, not vague cosmic alignment. He looks directly at the camera. Your self-help often asks you to feel differently without teaching you to act differently. But feelings follow actions, not the reverse. The classroom fades. And finally, Confucius says, his tone now deeply sympathetic, the most damaging misconception, that you are broken. The scene darkens. The person from the morning routine reappears, surrounded by self-help messages. Fix yourself. Your trauma holds you back. Heal your inner child. Overcome your limiting beliefs, all implying the same thing. You are damaged, insufficient, in need of repair. Your gurus profit, Confucius says quietly, from convincing you that you are fundamentally flawed, that without their course, their book, their program, you will remain incomplete. He approaches the figure, places a gentle hand on their shoulder. But this is not wisdom. This is exploitation. The harsh messages fade. You are not broken, Confucius states with absolute certainty. You are a human being with human capacity for growth. You do not need fixing. You need cultivation. And those are very different things. The overwhelmed figure relaxes slightly, the judgment lifted. Confucius steps back, surveying the accumulated criticism. So, he says, now that we understand where modern self-help fails, let us discuss what actually works. The space transforms into something peaceful. A traditional Chinese garden, not ornate, simple. A path, bamboo, flowing water, everything in harmony. Confucius walks this path slowly, inviting the viewer to walk with him. True cultivation, he begins, rests on 3 pillars. Not 7 habits, not 12 steps, not quantum manifestation protocols. He stops at a small pavilion, 3 scrolls hang on the wall, each with a single character. Li. He points to each in turn. Benevolence, propriety, righteousness. He takes the first scroll down, unrolling it gently. Ren, benevolence, humaneness, is the foundation of all virtue. The scene shifts. Modern examples appear, but not from guru culture. Real life, simple moments. A person helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries. Not filming it, not posting it, just helping. A parent patiently teaching a child to tie their shoes. The 10th attempt, still patient. A friend sitting with someone who's grieving, not offering solutions, just presence. Ren is recognizing, Confucius explains, that other people are as real as you are, that their suffering matters as much as yours, that your well-being is incomplete if it comes at their expense. He looks at the camera. Your self-help gurus speak of radical self-love, but Ren teaches radical other love, expanding your circle of concern beyond yourself. The examples fade. When you wake in the morning, Confucius continues, the question is not, how can I optimize myself today? The question is, how can I be of benefit today? To my family? To my community? To the world? He rehangs the scroll and takes down the second. Li, propriety, ritual, proper conduct. The garden path appears again. Confucius demonstrates. He walks with mindful steps, pauses at a tea station, prepares tea with deliberate, practiced movements. Each gesture precise, but not rigid, graceful. Your culture has become obsessed with authenticity, Confucius observes while pouring tea. Be yourself. Express yourself. No filters. He pauses, considering, but humans are not born civilized. A person being themselves without cultivation is often selfish, reactive, crude. Li teaches us to shape our natural impulses into beautiful forms. He offers the teacup with both hands, a gesture of respect. These small rituals, how we greet others, how we eat, how we move through the world, they are not superficial. They are training. Each proper gesture cultivates patience, mindfulness, respect. Modern examples appear, but not the frantic morning routine. Different moments. Someone setting a table carefully, even though they're eating alone. Making the meal sacred. Someone bowing slightly when thanking a service worker. Small gesture, big meaning. Someone writing a handwritten thank you note. Taking time. Showing care. Your self-help encourages you to disrupt, Confucius notes. Break rules. Ignore convention. Be radical. He shakes his head gently. But some conventions exist for good reason. They encode wisdom, respect for elders, gratitude for service, hospitality to strangers. These are not arbitrary rules. They are practices that make community possible. The examples fade. When you make your bed in the morning, Confucius says, you are practicing order, completion, care for your space. This is Li. He takes down the third scroll. Righteousness, moral action. The garden darkens slightly. The path ahead shows a fork, a choice. This is the most challenging, Confucius admits. He means doing what is right, even when it is difficult, even when it costs you. Scenarios appear. Modern moral dilemmas. Someone at work witnessing unethical behavior. They could report it, but might lose their job. They stay silent. Someone scrolling past a fundraiser for someone in need. They could donate, but they want those new shoes. They scroll past. Someone hearing gossip about a colleague. They could defend that person, but everyone else is joining in. They stay quiet. In each case, the person makes the easier choice, and a small piece of their character erodes. Confucius watches these scenarios with sadness, but not judgment. Your self-help often tells you to set boundaries. Prioritize yourself. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. He pauses. And sometimes this is wise. But your culture has taken this too far. Every discomfort becomes toxic. Every obligation becomes trauma. He walks to the fork in the path, standing at the decision point. He teaches that sometimes righteousness requires sacrifice. Sometimes doing right means accepting hardship. And this is not trauma, this is virtue. The scenarios replay. But differently, the worker reports unethical behavior, loses their job, but finds a better one aligned with their values. The person donates to the fundraiser, skips the shoes, feels genuine satisfaction from helping. The person defends their colleague, faces social awkwardness, but maintains their integrity. Notice, Confucius says, that he often requires short-term loss for long-term gain. Not to your bank account, to your character. The garden lightens again. These three pillars, Confucius summarizes, gesturing to all three scrolls, work together. Run gives you the motivation, care for others. Li gives you the method, proper practice. He gives you the courage, moral action. He rolls up the scrolls, placing them carefully. And none of them, he adds with a slight smile, require an app, or a morning routine, or a vision board. The garden dissolves. Confucius now stands in a modern wellness expo. Booths everywhere, gurus hawking their wares. The noise is cacophonous. Let me address, Confucius says, raising his voice slightly over the din, some specific teachings of your modern gurus. A large screen appears behind him. Guru quotes scroll past. Manifest your dreams. The universe will provide. Confucius sighs. The universe is not a vending machine. Wishing does not create reality. He gestures, and the quote transforms into his own teaching. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. If you want something, Confucius explains, understand what it requires. Then do the work. Do not ask the cosmos to deliver what your own hands should build. Next quote appears. You are the author of your own reality. Confucius's expression shows concern. This is dangerous philosophy. It implies that suffering is self-created, that poverty is a mindset, that illness is manifestation of negative thoughts. He waves it away. Some things are within your control. Many are not. Wisdom lies in knowing the difference, and in not blaming victims for circumstances beyond their power. His counter-teaching appears. The superior person seeks what is right. The inferior person seeks what is profitable. Focus on what you can control. Your character, your actions, your responses, not on manipulating reality through wishful thinking. Next, be your authentic self. No apologies. Confucius actually laughs at this one. Your authentic self, without cultivation, is likely selfish, impulsive, and harmful. He shakes his head, still amused. Authenticity is not virtue. A person can be authentically cruel, authentically greedy, authentically foolish. His teaching replaces it. The superior person seeks to develop themselves before correcting others. Self-cultivation means refining your authentic impulses into beneficial ones. This is growth, not suppression, transformation. Another guru quote, trust your gut, follow your intuition. Confucius strokes his beard thoughtfully. Your intuition is shaped by your habits, your biases, your fears. Sometimes it guides wisely, often it misleads. He counters. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. By all means, develop intuition, but test it against wisdom, against evidence, against the experiences of those who came before. Intuition uninformed by knowledge is just impulse. The quotes continue appearing, each more absurd. Good vibes only. Confucius. Life contains suffering, grief, difficulty. Good vibes only is denial. Maturity means accepting all of life's textures. His response. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Love yourself first. Confucius. Self-love without care for others becomes narcissism. Balance is required. His teaching: do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. Let go of toxic people. Confucius: some people are harmful, yes, but your culture labels everyone who challenges you as toxic. Sometimes discomfort is growth. His wisdom: choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. But also, endure your obligations with grace. The screen disappears. The wellness expo fades. Confucius stands in silence. Do you see the pattern? He asks. Your gurus offer easy answers. No accountability. No sacrifice. Just affirm, manifest, believe. He looks directly at the camera. But character is not built through affirmations. It is built through action. Repeated, daily, often difficult. A simple truth, hanging in the air. The space becomes the simple garden again. Peaceful, grounded. Confucius sits on a stone bench. He's no longer lecturing, just offering. So what does true self-cultivation look like? He asks. In practical terms, for your modern life. He stands, beginning to walk again. First, begin where you are. Modern scene. Someone's messy apartment. Dishes piled. Laundry scattered. Overwhelmed. Your gurus would sell you a complete transformation protocol. Confucius notes. New habits. New identity. New life. The person in the apartment just starts. Washes one dish. Then another. Fall. Manageable. But I say, pick one thing. Do it well. Then add another. The apartment slowly becomes more organized. Not through dramatic overhaul, through consistent small actions. Confucius' teaching. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The scene shifts. Second, focus on character, not achievement. A modern workplace. Someone has the opportunity to take credit for a colleague's idea. Easy promotion. They don't. They correct the record. Give credit where it's due. Your culture measures success in titles, money, followers, Confucius observes. But these are external, fragile, temporary. The person doesn't get the promotion, but they sleep well. Their integrity intact. Character. How you act when no one is watching is the only permanent achievement. His teaching appears. The superior person understands righteousness. The inferior person understands profit. Third, cultivate relationships. Modern scene. Someone scrolling through hundreds of social media connections. Feels lonely despite the numbers. They put the phone down. Call one friend. Just to check in. Have a real conversation. Your self-help emphasizes self-sufficiency, Confucius notes. But humans are social creatures. We need community. Not audience, community. The person meets the friend for tea. Real presence. Real connection. True well-being, Confucius states, comes largely from meaningful relationships. This is not weakness. This is being human. Teaching. Have no friends not equal to yourself. He adds, not in status, in character. Surround yourself with people who make you better. Fourth principle. Practice daily rituals. Not the frantic morning optimization routine. Something different. Someone waking at a reasonable hour. Making tea slowly. Sitting in silence. Not because it's productive. Because it's sacred. Writing 3 things they're grateful for. Not to manifest abundance. To cultivate appreciation. Reading wisdom, ancient texts, philosophy, poetry, for 15 minutes. Feeding the mind. Ritual creates structure, Confucius explains. Not rigid structure, supportive structure, like a trellis for a growing plant. He shows the person months later. The ritual has become natural, nourishing, not another metric to optimize. The key, Confucius emphasizes, is that ritual should reduce anxiety, not create it. If your practice makes you more stressed, it is not cultivation, it is performance. Final principle. Accept imperfection. The wellness app appears again. Daily wellness score, 47 out of 100. Confucius waves it away. Your culture demands constant improvement. Optimization, peak performance. But this is a race with no finish line. You will always be inadequate. He sits on the bench again. I taught. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. Meaning, be remarkable in your strengths and accept your weaknesses. Modern person appears. They didn't meditate today. Ate fast food. Skipped the gym. The old them would spiral into self-judgment. The new them? Tomorrow is another day. One imperfect day does not erase all progress. Cultivation is lifelong. Confucius says gently, you will fail daily. This is not defeat. This is being human. The question is not, am I perfect? The question is, am I better than I was last year? He stands one final time. And if the answer is yes, even slightly yes, then you are succeeding. Your modern self-help industry is not entirely wrong. People do need guidance, support, wisdom. But you have been sold solutions that profit others while depleting you. Courses that promise everything and deliver nothing. Gurus who exploit your insecurity for their wealth. True wisdom does not require purchase. It requires practice. These teachings are 25 centuries old. And yet they address precisely what your modern life lacks. Community, meaning, sustainable practice, moral clarity. The best self-help guru is not selling a course. They are offering a philosophy, a way of being. Not a transformation in 30 days, but a cultivation over 30 years. This wisdom is freely available. In books, in practice, in the examples of good people around you. You do not need another guru. You need commitment to small daily practices, to growth that no one will notice but you, to becoming a person of character. And perhaps that is the ultimate self-help. Not optimizing the self, but forgetting the self in service of something larger. Cultivate virtue. Serve your community. Practice daily. And wellness, true wellness, will follow.